May now recognize Representative Ryan Recto.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, to the DBCC, thank you for all of your work and your time today to be with us. I just have a question. First question towards DepDev, sir. In 2023, the poverty rate was recorded at 15.5%. With that, we were able to lift 2.5 million Filipinos out of poverty. And it is hoped that in the next 4 years, it is aspired that we elevate 9 or 10 more million Filipinos above the poverty line and hopefully achieve our goal of reducing poverty to a single digit or 9% by 2028. So great job on the part of the economic team and the government. While the national poverty rate has dropped, the poverty incidence for indigenous people, fisher folk, and farmers still remain very high. These poverty incidences were recorded at 32.4%, 27.4%, and 27% respectively. It is rather encouraging that the rate is below the government's target. However, Madam Chair and the DBCC, data from the Philippine Statistics Authority clearly highlight the persistent vulnerability of these specific sectors. Madam Chair, perhaps economic growth can be more inclusive for these sectors. Maybe it's worth looking into more targeted interventions and investments in these sectors so that we can properly distribute wealth and opportunities. So, sir, if you were to, this representation would just like to ask the honorable body, which specific programs or economic strategies can ensure that economic growth is more inclusive and equitable relative to these sectors, these three sectors, within the confines of the 2026 NEP? Tinatanong ko lang po ito upang magampanan po natin ang pangako at tungkulin natin bilang kawani ng gobyerno na walang Pilipinong maiiwan po. Thank you for your time, sir.
Madam Chair, yes. First, indeed, what we are aiming to achieve in the 2026 budget and also future budgets is to enhance the inclusiveness of our economic development. And to achieve that, we need to create jobs, quality jobs in those sectors that you basically enumerated, and for the entire economy. But more importantly, we need to improve the targeting mechanisms of our programs. I'm talking about the social protection programs, the health programs, the education programs, as well as in the case of fisher folks, farmers, rural and women and the marginalized groups. We need to target special programs for them, and for that matter, what we really are working on is to ensure that those programs will actually reach them, as opposed to many programs that are intended for these groups, but the benefits of these programs actually ended somewhere else. So for us to do that, we will deploy the national ID program so that there will be less leakage in those benefits, and we can achieve more with less. That even given the narrow fiscal space we have, we believe we can achieve more in poverty reduction if we are able to enhance the targeting mechanisms in a way that exploit the availability of our technologies, like now the national ID and also the community-based monitoring system. We now do almost like a census of all municipalities of the country, and LGUs can use those data to better target those intended beneficiaries, and we also use the same data in our national programs to target our health assistance, our education assistance, our all out the ayuda that we have, the ayuda programs that we have, including the 4Ps.
Thank you, sir. If I may just have one quick follow-up. How is the implementation of these programs relative to Indigenous people po? Community-based monitoring and LGU monitoring of these communities, if you don't mind me asking, sir.
Yeah, our data system is able to identify those groups, and our PSA can actually tag them so that we can, with the use of the national ID, deliver those assistance to these groups.
Thank you for your time, sir. Next question. In the DOF's previous budget presentation from the 2025 budget deliberations, it was stated by the good Secretary of Finance that the country is on the verge of becoming an upper middle income country by 2025. GNI per capita, for the knowledge po of everyone present, measures the economic output per citizen, including both domestic and international earnings. Last year, the World Bank defines upper middle income country economies as those with a GNI per capita ranging between 4,516 US dollars, more or less 250,000 pesos, to 14,005 US dollars for 2025. For the fiscal year 2026, the World Bank defines an upper middle income economy as one with a GNI per capita using the World Bank Atlas method of $4,496 and between $4,496 and $13,935. Currently, the Philippines posted a recorded gross national income per capita of $4,470. This was higher than its GNI per capita of $4,230 in the previous year. And despite this increase in GNI per capita, the country was just shy of 26 US dollars from reaching this threshold. Madam Chair, we're still a lower middle income country. We fall in the range of 1,136 US dollars to 4,495. Sayang po, muntikan na po ito maklasify as upper middle income sa bansa. $26 lang po ang pagitan.
Huwag kang maghinayang, aabutan natin sa taong ito.
I was actually...
At kung marami ka pang tanong sa akin, lalabanan kita sa distrito.
Well, I was going to say, Mr. Secretary, I believe we are capable of achieving that target. I therefore commend the economic team and this administration, which includes you, Mr. Secretary. Hindi naman po biro ang nakamit ninyong achievement, so congratulations.
Thank you very much. You will be unopposed again.
Well, my question is, may this representation inquire with DepDev, and feel free to chime in, sir, as well as the DBM, how it plans to attain what specific economic strategies are to be implemented by the economic team to generate the necessary growth in GNI per capita at the same time, and hopefully strengthen the peso's value against the US dollar, upon which the GNI is measured. For any further clarification, please feel free to ask me again. Thank you.
Yeah, if I may respond, Madam Chair, Sec Ralph is correct that we are very likely going to achieve that target, that become an upper middle income status within this year, but we will not see that until July of next year, because the World Bank releases its report on this GNIs for the countries in the world in July of next year. So hopefully, when we will see the report in July, we have already met the threshold. Now, what will it take for us to achieve that growth? We need to keep growing, and in our growth target for this year, we are expecting 5.5 to 6.5%, and next year 6 to 7%. we don't think with the BSP here that the peso will depreciate that much or sharply to reduce our chances of becoming an upper middle income country. We don't think that our inflation will be significantly higher than the rest of the world. So because those are the factors that can influence our migration to upper middle income class, the growth rate, our growth rate, our exchange rate, and the relative inflation, our inflation relative to the rest of the world.
Wanted to chime in, if I may.
Feel free, sir. Yes, please.
Yes.
Specific economic strategies, sir.
Well, on the specific economic strategy, the first thing is to pass the budget for 2026. The downside of being an upper middle income country is that our ODA loans will increase, the cost, the interest will go up because you're no longer a lower middle income country. So if you're upper middle income, your borrowing cost goes up, the concessional loans go up, the cost of borrowing. And second, the way you calculate poverty incidence changes. Because today we calculate it at $4.20 a day per individual. If you become an upper middle income, the threshold becomes $8.40, the poverty threshold. So that's a downside to that. Thank you.